Part 2. So we've got our base assembled there. 3 mates. The first one is between these two mate connectors at this corner. Second one between these two. The third one between these two. Something to show you guys, in case something gets screwed up or you're not finding what you need, at any point you can double click your mate and you can get rid of a mate connector, you can add new ones. You can use offset, which allows you to push the mate connectors apart. So in case like Z, we can push the pieces around this way to give space between the mate connectors in all 3 axes. So Z, I guess Y is going to move it, I guess, up and down in this case, etc., etc. So offset is really useful, and then you can rotate it a certain number of degrees around any of those axes as well if things need to get funky. All right, so let's keep assembling. We need to insert our uprights. Let's do the spreader bar, the top piece of our uprights. We will do the upright number 1, upright number 2. Now, boys and girls, that's it. I got some parts here that are not part of our current catapult. So there we go, and the same thing I'm going to do before. Orbit around, make sure things are looking good, line them up so that way you can find the mate connectors and they're kind of in the right position. So I'm just going to move that one over there. Alright, let's get going. So I'm going to put this bar, I'm going to put it on the top corner here. Let's put him right in the middle. So M for mate, fasten. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to find one in the middle facing the direction I need. There's one. I'm going to orbit around. 2. Shift Control arrow key. Just pan it. Find one down here. That brought those 2 pieces together. I'm gonna need one more. So I'm gonna click this green arrow. If I want to commit that, start a new one, which I do. And we're gonna find one facing the correct direction there. And in the center on the top of this one, boom. Ba-boom, boom, boom. Looking good. So I'm going to accept that. Now, we have our uprights built. This will move as one chunk. We don't know exactly where to put it yet. The position of this is determined by those angled upright pieces. So I'm just going to get it kind of in the right spot. I know it has to be level with the bottom there. Let's go from the right side view and shift it over a bit. It's got to be somewhere like this. So I'm just going to kind of put it there for now, even though it's not perfect. And you guys, you can't just put them close and call it done. That's not an assembly. All right. Imagine Legos that didn't click together. It would just be a nightmare. So we're going to click these parts together. All right. Final pieces. We're going to insert those 2 anglers. These jammers here, part 9. The supports, 1 and 2. Need 2 of them. All right. Now these live right on this surface here. This mouth mounts on top of this surface. So I'm going to use our mate connectors. I'm going to fasten. I'm going to look for one that's facing up on this part right there. Now I'm going to come down and I'm going to look at the inside here, the bottom, and I'm going to find one facing down right there. Let's see what happened. Boom, it's perfect. Now we're going to make another one, so we're going to click this mate. We'll do the same thing on this side. We're going to find one on the corner, top facing, there. We're going to go up underneath this one here. Zoom in, 2 fingers, and we're going to find one there. Hard to tell if that's the right angle from this view, but it looks good. Boom. And I'm going to accept that. So now we've got those mounted. Now we can mate this upright to this piece, and we know that it's going to line up perfectly. Okay. Only problem is that I'm not sure of the height. So let's do our best here. I might have to go to a drawing to find that height for you guys. But offset will come into play. So we need to mate this surface with the inside surface of this. So we're going to mate. We're going to find one on this surface. Now we're going to find one in the middle on that outer edge. Boom. And we are going to find one. We'll do the top corner here. There we go. Now that obviously makes it stick down, which is not what we want, but we're going to use offset. Also notice that it pulled these parts apart temporarily. If you hit solve here, it will line everything else back up. Alright, now we're not done with this mate because you see this is too low. So we're going to use our offset here, and we're going to go along the green. So offset, green, and we're going to shift this. I'm using my arrow keys right now to just go in increments. And we're going to look at it from the left side view. And zoom in down here so I can find when we've met our proper distance. Now I doubt it's going to be an even increment of 0.1. No, it looks good, Mr. Marino. Well, it's not right perfect. So I'm going to quick jump over to my drawing, and I'm going to find that dimension for you guys. See if I can find that dimension. Drawings are a very useful tool to find dimensions of how parts go together. Alright, so check it out here. We can dimension like from this corner down to here, and we can know the exact distance we would need. Alright, so let's take a dimension tool here. Let's pick the corner here, and actually we need the corner to the center of this part. There is no mark at the center, so I'm gonna put a mark on the center of that part, guys. So you guys get the right dimension. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to C1 here. Check this out. We're gonna put a mate connector on this part. I'm not gonna put a mate connector. We're gonna put a little something here to give us a Shift S, N for normal, to put a some type of little indent. Let's see, we'll do a tiny. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? We're putting something in the middle here. We'll do it on this surface. S, N for normal. There's the center line, the center point. So I'm going to do C for circle. Line it up with the center there. Put a little tiny circle there, and I'm going to extrude that in at just a hair. You guys don't need to do this. I'm just giving ourselves a mark there. Now we have a tiny mark, and you'll see what I'm going to do here. So I'm going back to my drawing. I'm going to rebuild my drawing, the rebuild arrow, and that mark will appear. There it is. And now you know that this mark is right in the center. I'm going to put a center mark here. I'm just doing this so you guys know how far to offset that mate. So now we're going to get the distance from this top corner to this mark here. 1.525 is our distance that we need. Let's see if that works out for us. I hope it does. That was this mate here. Yeah. Negative 1.525. Except now they line up perfectly on the bottom. So there's your number for that mate. If you made the parts correctly, negative 1.525 to put those arms, those uprights in the right position. Alright, that's 8 mates. One more to go, the Revolute mate. I'm going to show you guys that one in the next little short video. Good luck with all this. Should have a pretty much complete catapult at this point. Alright, so long.